I want to know if it's just me, or has anyone else noticed a tendency among black female YouTubers to put comments on approve, so that all comments are subject to channel host approval before they appear in the comments section. Recently I tried to post a response to a video by a black female who was talking about black male YouTubers, only to find that she'd put comments on approve. Now I know my comment will never appear, not because it was abusive or disrespectful in any way, but simply because it challenged her point of view. And that's what's happened almost every time I've tried to post a response on the black female's channel. You leave a comment, you do refresh, and your comment doesn't appear. Obviously it's awaiting approval. So what does this tell us about the women who do this? I mean, aren't these the same women who've got opinions about everyone else, which they wouldn't tolerate anyone denying them the right to express, yet when given the power to deny others the right to express their opinions, or the right of reply, they have no qualms about exercising that power in the most dictatorial manner? Well, it tells me that they're not as strong as they claim to be, and perhaps not as educated as they claim to be, and proves what any man with sense always knew about black women. Now, when they talk about strength, they're not talking about strength as it's usually understood, i.e. as the ability to exert resistance against an opposing force, or the ability to defend your own viewpoint. They're merely talking about how many octaves louder they can shout above everyone else. I mean, in face-to-face conflict with a black woman, most people, men especially, prefer to just walk away rather than deal with a hysterical lunatic who might strike out or start fighting or kicking off in some way. And black women take this act of retreat as some kind of victory in which their strength won the day. Delusional or what? Black women, nobody backed down because they were intimidated by your so-called phony strength. They were the ones displaying strength and self-discipline by disengaging from your drama. Anyway, so going back to these YouTube petty dictators, they know that the anonymity of an internet medium like YouTube excuse me, allows people to be less reserved about dealing with black women the same way black women like to deal with everyone else. Like kicking off, getting up in your face, pointing in your face, cussing, threatening, all that kind of behaviour that they usually go on with. And they're scared. That's right, they're scared. They're intimidated by the thought of being on the receiving end of the kind of treatment they're so quick to dish out to anyone they feel has given them offence. They're cowards, man. They're just cowards. They're also scared that they might be made to look really stupid. And to be honest with you, that wouldn't be difficult because most of them are stupid. They're as stupid gets. I mean, you don't need to cuss a black woman to make her look dumb, because most of them are. We know that because they're easily influenced. I mean, aren't these the same women who, they all call themselves strong women? They all call themselves independent women. Without any, never, when do you ever hear any of them question any of that bullshit? I mean, they take on these empty slogans and repeat them every day. I mean, it's like they're in some kind of cult. A cult of zombified morons. I mean, if I'm wrong, tell me. You think about it. If I'm wrong, when was the last time you heard a black woman challenge the slogan about being strong and independent? When? Right? You can guarantee that if you have a conversation with a black woman, at some point in that conversation, the slogan about, well, I'm a strong independent woman, blah, 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 or some combination of that type of sloganry is going to come up in the conversation in response to something that you say. Oh, well, it's because you're only saying that because you're intimidated, da 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 da. Every time you think about it, right? None of them ever actually sit back and think, well, actually, let's take the independent slogan for example. Well, none of us are independent, and most of us have jobs. So if you've got a job, i.e. you're working for somebody else pays you money to work for them, you're not independent, right? You're only independent if perhaps you own your own business and you're independently wealthy, as in you don't need to work for anybody. That's perhaps as close as any human being can get to being independent. Because the truth is, well, none of us are independent anyway. We're all interdependent. Nobody can provide all the necessities of life for themselves. So we're all interdependent anyway. But obviously, that kind of, I wouldn't even say it's deep, but I mean, that kind of analysis would never occur to a black woman when she's repeating these feel-good slogans. Anyway, so as I said, I mean, making black women look dumb is quite easy, and the reason for that is I think that they never sit or stand still or stay quiet or listen long enough to hear other people's opinion or to hear what's being said. I mean, if you don't listen to what people are saying, to what people's arguments are, then how can you ever develop the skills to counter what they're saying? Every interaction you have with somebody that says anything you don't want to hear causes you to react emotionally rather than intellectually. Because you don't like it. You react against it. You reject what's being said completely out of hand from day one. And then you hide behind this armor of angry black woman, offended black woman. That's why black women are perpetually offended. Always ready to pounce. Always ready to jump up. Alright, shut the fuck up. Go away and think about what people are saying about you. And consider whether there might be something in it. If so many people are saying it, go away, shut up for a minute, shut the fuck up, for fuck's sake, shut up, and go away, sit down, stay away from the hairdressers for about 6 months, take that stupid raggedy weave off your head, and clear your head and your mind of one of the barriers that blocks the entrance of knowledge and the path to personal growth. So I say, woman up. Take comments on approval off. Let's have the argument. Because I'm ready to do battle. I know what I'm bringing. I know what I'm packing. I don't know you ain't got shit. Alright, so I'm giving you this opportunity to go away and decide how you're going to respond to me. And decide how you're going to answer my questions. Because I've got a lot of questions to ask. And I want answers. That's what you're hearing on YouTube. You're hearing YouTube black men demand answers. We're not going to silently place black women on some phony pedestal as we've done in the past. I mean, I think a lot of this is our fault anyway, because that's exactly what we've done in the past. We've put you all on a pedestal because we know you suffered, as we did, and obviously we felt that you being women, you suffered more. But we're beginning to realise that that's not necessarily true. And we're beginning to see also how over the last 30 years you have actually been one of the major problems, at least one of the major sources of the problems in our community anyway. So now we want answers. So I suggest you listen to what's being said and find those answers, or else later.